I put the peanut butter and the jelly between the ass cheeks. I call it peanut butter and jelly ass sandwich.
Hello, 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 hello. You're probably wondering, oh, why? Is this one of those weird streams where you pass out on camera? Nah. And then you get rid of it because it's fucking useless? No, that's not what's happening. That is not what's happening. Much worse than that. Just waiting to see if a few people show up so I can go on my annoyed ramble of the evening. God knows this one's well deserved. It's insane. Who's on here? Anybody on here right now? It's gonna be a short one. I'm not gonna go for long. Got work in the morning and all that shit. I just came across something that I'm just like, awesome. That's really great. There's always something that I wish could just be separated from terminally online political bullshittery. But I guess it was something inevitable. And it's very frustrating. And I'll give you the context as to why it's frustrating. Why it pisses me off in particular. Just waiting to see if maybe one more or two more people show up before I start rambling. I don't really plan any of my streams. I just kind of have ideas that are flying through my brain that I have to vomit onto a microphone in the hopes that somebody can discern some use from it. That's all it really is. This is I'm just going to basically talk about one of the many examples of why meta-narratives as they currently exist are just, they're making me lose my mind. Somebody else might say, well, go touch grass. Okay. It's nice. But there are other concerns besides my own individual experience in the touching of grass. I think enough people do enough grass touching for me and around me. Alright. Well, looks like 9 views and 3 concurrent viewers. That's weird. I click on it. So strange. Alright. Time to get started, I guess. Listening to whatever this is, I thought it was pretty cool. A band or whatever called Fuck Money, Make Bitches. Which is pretty funny. It's a play on the, you know. Any case. It's full of comments of like fake comments of, my grandma used to listen to this. Like just fake comments about the history of the band or who they are. Like, just a bunch of made up stuff on a channel called Soup Records, which only has like 901 subs, and this like random album that got dropped that the algo fed me, which I'm enjoying. But anyway, all right. So I don't know much about this guy. Apparently he's a thing. I don't know. He's like an up and comer, or he's been around for a minute. He's like this or he's a that. I don't know. And like the, you know, the YouTube political fucking things. He got like memed as like the enlightened centrist meme. I don't know. It's all this shit, right? And this isn't the first time I've seen this shit pop up. I'm just using this as an example because this one's like the most direct. So look at this title. Oh, sorry. My stupid screen is probably not letting you look at it, but it's called Autism versus Schizophrenia, the only political divide that matters. And this goes on to describe what is to be coined by some on the internet, including this gentleman, to be political autism and political schizophrenia. Now, let me explain to you why this annoys the living fuck out of me. And I watched it, and I'm like, really? Okay. So, one of the individuals that this video describes being inspired by is right at the top here. It says, nobody loves furthering J-Reg's theory of autismophrenia more than I do. That's what it states. Everything boils down, look at these fucking timestamps. Everything boils down to cognitive frames. The key difference between autists and schizos. Lovin is an autist. Left-wing and libertarian autism. Conservative autism. The autistic obsession with logical consistency. Semantics over substance. Political schizophrenics obsess over vibes. What? Character assassination as a schizophrenic tactic. The Mott and Bailey is the ultimate schizo-autist tactic. What the fuck am I reading? Seriously. What am I supposed to come up with when reading something like this? A while back, J-Reg, if you don't know who that is, he's like an actively satire, comedy mixed with politics, mixed with philosophy, mixed with psych shit. He's been around for a minute. Anyone that's into the whole poly scene or the pole scene on the internet, especially on YouTube, knows about him. Okay? Even back when that video came out, that's not what it was discussing. That is not what it was referring to. It wasn't about a political divide. It was about a cognitive divide that he was kind of fucking around with, right? In his head as like a pastime, a hobby, because it wasn't even anything he ever went back to or really like focus their, you know, whole deal on. It was just a blip in the many things that J-Reg fucks around with, and jumps from, you know, thing to thing to thing. It wasn't like a major big stop for what he was going to do and where he was going to go forward from there. Because after that kind of arc, moved on, went to a different one, moved on, went to a different one. That's kind of their thing. Right? They jump around all over the fucking place, you know, piecing a few ideas together, being pretty damn funny sometimes, and then just kind of moving on to the next thing. Which I have no problem with. I have no issue with that. It's just whatever. They're doing their thing. Now, when they were interested in covering this subject, and before they released the oh so famous autismophrenia video that this December 13th, 2025 video is referring to, if I remember correctly, at some point approached him or DM'd him or something regarding this topic before I even knew he was interested in it. I think I had brought up, some of the schizoid stuff and how it's kind of related to neurodivergency and something of that nature, and how there's this kind of like larger spectrum, and they were already, I guess, interested in that idea, and so they had me on their live stream, right? And we kind of like talked about it, and this was a few years ago. And that was a cool experience. That was interesting. And though the live stream was like, I think I have the actual live stream. I don't even know. Is it posted on my channel? I can't remember. But point is, I think I requested them to send me a copy of the live stream, and then I think they sent it to me, and I think I put it on the channel. But they didn't post the live stream, or they didn't like make it a thing. They got a clip from it in which at the time I was working with another person, but they got a clip from it and they put it in their autismophrenia video, which was a fun video. The framing itself was something to be desired at certain points, but it wasn't a big deal, right? Because it was pretty interesting in the way they captured it, and it was captivating, charismatic, and so on. And they threw a clip of me or something in there, and I was fine with it because I like that this discussion was even being had. Right. And when they were talking about it on their channel, JReg, they were not framing it in this kind of political lens. Even though they did a lot of political shit and talked a lot of political stuff in the past, they were doing this arc at that time where it was more focused on like cognitive stuff, mental health stuff, and things like that. It was kind of like fucking around more with that, right? It wasn't being like conjoined with like the political shit at that given time. Last I heard, they were on like a clanker thing. Last I saw, they were more focused on anti-clanker stuff. So they just kind of go, which relatable. I can understand that. I see this video pop up, and this issue's been going on for a fucking while, especially if you're talking like Chan boards and you're talking about just kind of like pull fucking terminally online circles and shit. The use of the word like tism, autism, in this kind of deranged, fucking completely divorced from what the average autistic experience actually is. And then you also had, where a lot of these memes came from about more politically inclined schizophrenic conspiracies. They're in the walls. And the UN is gonna barge through my door. I hate the ETF, And so this kind of like conspiratorial political extremism was associated with like, schizophrenic, right? And I guess being some kind of socially awkward, infantilized weirdo or something was autism. And that became like the sort of lexicon of how these words were used on the internet. Funny enough, being used oftentimes in this way by people who are neither, or dealing with neither type of situation, right? Now, when I had talked about autismophrenia or what have you, as long ago as I have, and it's something that I still occasionally bring up and have continuously brought up over the last couple of years. Now, nobody's chatting, but I'll still put it up anyway, just in case somebody says something. And if you want to push back, or you want to say, hey, Angst, that's dumb, okay, do it. Or you want to agree, do that. I don't care. You do you. Now, What is this? Why isn't it? Maybe that wasn't a good idea to fuck with. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Just trying to fix the stupid thing so it actually shows. Apparently that's not happening. Never mind. Oh, there it goes. Okay, now we're back in action. I don't know why I popped up this time. Just in case somebody sign into chat. No, I don't need to sign into chat. I'm good. I had talked about it specifically as something that is a discussion about cognitive differentiation and how the human brain sort of evolved, and how you know, you have types of cognitive experience that are kind of, their default setting is kind of put on the macro-associative abstract thinking that the human brain is capable of, and the micro-associative, very concrete thinking the human brain is capable of, all human brains are generally capable of, but how there's individuals, outliers that are born into this kind of area. Like, this is their default setting, this is their default starting point. And the majority of individuals are somewhere in the center, somewhere between that world, which is oftentimes what fuels the interpersonal world as we conventionally understand it. Normative, the more normative interpersonal world. Right? It exists between these points. That's what I was talking about when I whether I was talking to J-Reg or every time I fucking mention it. And it's evolved, and I've discussed it with more nuance and understanding and everything over the years. And I always sort of just went, this whole you know, whole fucking Chan shit about autism, or the way autism and schizophrenia is being used online, it's just absurd. It's just a meme. It's just bullshit. So I kind of compartmentalized that, right? I just went, oh, okay, it's just a stupid fucking internet thing that's not really going to be taken seriously outside of the realm of, or even thought about in this way outside of the realm of like a few fucking, like I said, some fucking Chan threads or Reddit maybe, shit like that. Some kind of poly Reddit shit. That's what I thought. Now we got this fucker and others trying to push this idea about political autism and schizophrenia. Which all they're fucking doing is getting this idea of macro, micro, abstract, concrete, vertical, horizontal, however you want to fucking word it, thinking, and how it's intuitive to some individuals, and how it's being weaponized politically by people. It's turning something that is a discussion about kind of default setting cognitive experience and turning it into like this fucking tribalistic fucking political rhetorical tactic. And then it's associating individuals with that sort of cognitive makeup with specific types of political leanings, making absurd associations and claims. It's baffling. I don't know who P.F. Jung is, but Jesus. The disservice this shit does to neurodivergent people is astronomical. Creating a association between debate bro shit and cognitive disposition is nothing short of just destructive toward a effort that's already particularly difficult. It's so narrow, it's so short-sighted. to use these terms in that way, in the way that a video like this is using them, and in the way that I've seen other people more recently attempt to use them. And it sickens me that something that I've been attempting to discuss and bring up on a larger scale for a significant period of time now, you're getting a video, you know, and I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but shit spreads, shit grows over time, even if this video doesn't. You got a video that has 18,000 views over the last few days that discusses this idea, this topic of there being this kind of spectrum of cognitive disposition. And how is it being discussed? How are the 18,000, almost 18,000 people that come across this idea, that follow whoever the fuck this guy is, coming across it? Through a political lens. That's really fucking great, isn't it? Look at some of these comments. I'll switch over. Well, I'll just read them. It doesn't matter. You can look at them yourself. I just... 4 days ago, J-Reg did hit it on the nail. Wait, J-Reg really did hit the nail on the head with his autismophrenia thesis. Calling it a thesis is just fascinating. Calling a video essay with some thoughts about what this or that could be, that'd be like calling my some of my ramblings and rantings about this or that, even if I do, you know, do my research or whatever, calling them a thesis. But whatever, fuck it. Bro's visionary. I'm enjoying the academic take on J-Reg. Okay. Look at these comments that get upvoted. It's actually between sociopaths in power who craft conspiracies, schizos on 4chan that uncover them 20 years before the Overton window accepts their ideas. Wow. Big brain shit. True enlightenment is using the powers of actual autism to systematize schizophrenia. How do I become more politically schizophrenic? J-Reg's autismophrenia opened a whole new way of describing thought and behavior. I swear to God, it's unironically visionary. And that's followed up by people just associating it to political divides. I'm autistic and I suffered a psychotic break at 19, and it felt like I accelerated too far into neurotypical thinking. This analogy makes more sense than it should. So now you have people that are autistic also. And people that are probably schizophrenic to some degree and have political interests. Buying into this shit. Buying into this fucking framework. Trying to find something reasonable in here in these comments. When I broke out of political autism was a realization of what I believe to be central flaw of hyperlogical thinking. No theory devised by man has ever perfectly described reality. As such, a strict adherence to ideological consistency will inevitably lead you to incorrect conclusions. Now, even if what they just stated has some validity, to call it political autism, Nick Fuentes' entire career is built on that switch between schizo and autistic claim tricks. I am autistic. This is interesting. This is, if this is where the words are being taken, if this is going to be the zeitgeist. It just goes to show that any kind of conversation, any kind of like pool you're going to have when it comes to any topic you're discussing, you have to build it upon the base of garnering as much of a neurotypical base as possible when you're talking about things of this nature, because it's a numbers game. It's wild. People watch one fucking video about autismophrenia and they walk away satisfied, like they got it. They understand what it's trying to discuss in whatever facet they're trying to discuss it in. That's it. I believe the video. And now there's another video that agrees with previous video that I thought made sense. That's enough for me. I like this framework. It fits my worldview. It supports the tribalism and division and the dichotomy that I like in my life. Must be true. How am I supposed to overcome the piles of depression that these sorts of things help perpetuate within me? I spent a few years trying to bring up this topic, talking about it, mentioning it. And what gains traction? Well, how do we tie it to tribalism? And how do we make it a good thing? Or how do we make it a thing that we need to know so that we can one up our enemies? So that we can win the rhetorical battles? So that we know how to counter politically autistic arguments and politically schizophrenic arguments. It's crazy, man. Like, even in the same video, he tries to say that fucking, what do you call it? He like points to people in like I guess mainstream media, as well as like fucking internet peeps like Destiny and Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens, all these like fucking poll peeps or figures, like political, and tries to just go like, oh well, this person makes more schizophrenic arguments. Oh, that's based on vibes. This person works more autistic arguments. It's more stickler focused, based on specifics, but they take them out of context. It's all the strap, bros. It's all like just. Oh my god, I can't. I just can't, man. I've spoken to plenty of autistic people. I've spoken to plenty of people that are schizos that understand how to think about these things outside of these like very narrow fucking types of definitions and arguments this fucking video is trying to do. Now, some of the things being described, yeah, there could be traps that certain neurodivergent people might fall into. But to talk about them as if they're the source of the division, the source of all the problems, the main argument, the main division, the main political divide. "13 minutes. And I've seen bits of this like show up online, and I've seen bits of this kind of be brought up in different spots, and I'm like, man, I hope this isn't a thing. Please don't let this fucking concept or idea grow. It's fucking retarded. It's so fucking just destructive to any efforts toward like creating any kind of bridge between like people of significant sort of cognitive experience and like the average person. Please don't let this be a thing. Please stop. And I see this shit drop and I'm like, cool. And I don't think it's going to stop there. I don't think it's just going to be this one video by this one guy. There's too many people in the comments just agreeing, saying how oh yeah, this is you're on the money. Oh, this is oh man, this is the way to go. Oh, yeah, you fucking J-Reg, and you, even though this is not what J-Reg was saying. That's what drives me crazy. This is not what J-Reg was saying when that original video came out. This is not what he was talking about. He didn't discuss it as if it was a divide. It's so crazy. It's so absurd too, because even in the same video, he's describing people from differing like positions, left, right, whatever the fuck you want to call it, actively using like autistic and schizophrenic tactics. Like he's got Pierce Morgan. Oh, Pierce Morgan's making, like literally in this little video, Pierce Morgan's making a schizophrenic argument. And then Nick Fuentes knows that and counters it with his own schizophrenic arguments. And I'm like, awesome. Awesome. Like, what is it? One of the sections here, it's called Political Schizophrenics Obsess Over Vibes. Talk about like just fucking minimizing fucking anything. associated with things like that. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to ramble for a bit. I'm going to bed. I'm pissed off. I'm fucking annoyed. And I'm tired. I'm sorry for wasting your time. In any case, if you, well, this kind of stream is probably not going to be a favorite because I'm just tired and incoherent. But if you like my streams normally, if you like what I talk about, if you like what I bring up, Patreon, PayPal, whatever the fuck it's in there, like, sub, all that stupid shit, doesn't matter. I'm telling you, man, if this is what, like, oh, if this is what becomes a thing, I don't know how I'm gonna survive it. All right, peace out, and as usual, when day is dark, always remember happy day, but sometimes you get fucking